Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our weekly market analysis session. Last week, or the week that just finished, the week that finished on Friday, the trading week, I suppose, the 20th week of 2025. We finished on Friday. We anticipated a bullish movement for the dollar. Here's the dollar index weekly time frame. I told us in our last analysis that I want a bullish dollar. I want dollar to go to the upside, okay? And I gave us several scenarios why I wanted that to happen. And true to form, it played out as we expected. The only caveat to this is that on Monday, it just went bullish. It traded so sporadically to our objective on Monday, just on Monday. And in the absence of any major impact or high impact news, just went straight up. That's the things we see in trading. And that's why when you trade, you use stop loss. Yes, I anticipated a bullish movement, but I was hoping that it's going to go that way gradually. So when I discovered that it got to that level, our level on Monday, I told myself that it's going to be the rest of the days of the week is going to be consolidation. It's not going to trade above or below that range it created on Monday. And we can see how this is the daily time frame right now. We can see how this is Monday. So it opened, gap opened a little on Friday. From Friday, it opened on Monday with a little gap, new week opening gap, and it went ballistic to the upside, filling in all these imbalances. Traded above the CB of weekly time frame, and then filling the daily CB completely. And then Tuesday, we had to retrace. Wednesday, we swept into the new week opening gap, but the body closed above it. Thursday, pretty much consolidated. And Friday, we went higher, took out buy side liquidity. So we're stuck in this range right now. Now, looking at it, the question would be, what's the way forward? What will be the next line of action? This movement up didn't really trade significantly into the bullish order block. It just saw the bearish order block. It just touched the opening price, I suppose, yeah. And then it rejected from there. If you go to 4 hours time frame, we still have some level of inefficiency that we expect price to trade to. Here, this area here, there's bearish order block here, volume imbalance here. It may not get there, but that could be where we could also give room for such kind of movement. And then all these CBs, it only traded to this level here, pretty much the opening price as well. And then, so we have all these ranges left. I'm of the opinion that it may want to rally higher, take out Monday's high to fill in this inefficiency properly. Looking at it on 4 hours time frame, you can see this series of down close candles. Price have traded above the down. I think there's about 4 down close candles. So price traded above it, making this an order block. So what we are looking at now is essentially this order block. If price was going to go higher, this order block should act as support to send price higher. Okay. So if we see this order block respect price, if price respects the order block and it moves from here, then we're going to be targeting this inefficiency right here. This one right here. That's what we'll be targeting. I don't want to see this high violated. Up to this level is fine by me. If you also run a fib from, they can do that on your own, from the high of this swing to the low of this swing. This area is essentially the 79 to 80% retracement. That's deep premium. So I'm hoping that we're going to see that kind of movement next week. So week 21, I'm expecting that price is going to move up to this level before it starts to decline. That is on the basis that this order block on 4 hours holds price. But if we break below this 4 hours order block and the body closes below the 4 hours order block, bullish order block, then this will be a short-term high to send price lower. Remember, this movement we see here is just a retracement, a pullback into the breaker block on weekly time frame, the inversion FVG as well on weekly time frame, trading into the inefficiency on daily time frame, and now the inefficiency on 4 hours time frame. That is just it. It's just a little retracement so that it will continue its move lower. Remember that because it broke the low, this low here, I told us that we would be going down. Now, if this order block holds price and sends price higher, I want to see this order block at this CB, this bearish order block and this CB act as resistance to send price lower. But if it breaks above this order block, then we'll be extremely bullish. It means that it doesn't want to go lower again. Remember, Donald Trump has been making some good policy, okay, in the US, making the dollar very strong, strengthening the dollar. Okay, and that's why stock market is going up. Everything is just doing just okay for the United States right now. Okay, things are falling in place. So it's affecting the market. It's affecting the market. Okay, so on that premise, if we start seeing bullish dollar, meaning that if it goes above this inefficiency, above this bearish order block, then our sentiments will change because we are not the custodians of the market. We only analyze based on what we see on the charts. Okay. Initially, I told us that we might not get up to this point, but we did. I was expecting a retracement, deep retracement on weekly time frame. I was expecting a deep retracement to this level and then rally up. But this movement here, I didn't expect this. But it happened anyway. The moment it did this and broke below these equal lows, body closing below it, I told us that on monthly time frame, we want to go lower. Look at the month of April closed below these lows. It didn't weak and then reject. It closed below it. That's why I said we're going to be going lower to this level. Okay, so this movement we are seeing in May is just to retrace into this inversion FVG here. We have breaker block on monthly time frame. Okay, so this movement up is permissible. So we may see movement up as well. You know, we may see movement up to the 4 hours order block here, and then the CB as well. But if it breaks above this, then we are going all the way up to clear this buy side liquidity, and that will be very deep. All right, that'll be, I don't expect it to go that deep. All right, I want here to stay untouched. Okay, so you could retrace all the way to this level, that 4 hours order block, and then start trading from there. That's what I expect. Okay, but if the market starts to tear higher, expand higher, then this would be a low. This would be like a sell-side liquidity taking, and then markets maker buy model is in play. Okay, so that's how I'm looking at the market right now. Okay, so the first point of call is that I am bullish on the dollar. Okay, with the fact that this order block right here is going to hold price. So if that happens, it means that we're going to go higher, take out this high, trade into this area of inefficiency, supported by this bearish order block, and then want to have a resistance here and start going lower. Now, if we open and gap down and trade below this order block low, okay, then we'll start resuming a bearish movements. Just take this sell side liquidity here and then be slow and start going lower to our monthly objective. Those are the areas I'm looking at. So let's be very mindful. But the first point of call is bullish movements. Only if this other block supports it. But if market goes below this other block, then we are bearish. Please take note of that. Now, that being said, we'll go over to Euro USD. Euro USD, we know that it's a mirror image of the dollar index. So we expected bullish movement for the dollar, conversely, bearish movement for Euro USD. And true to form, it happened as we anticipated. This was where it was. When I did analysis, you can see where it is right now. Traded through, and then the body closed inside the BC, the weekly BC. Okay, on daily time frame, Monday gave us what we're looking for. So a gap down here. This was Friday. A gap down here and traded bearishly, fading the FBG on daily time frame, traded to the opening price of the daily order bullish order block. Then we had to consolidate the rest of the week, days of the week. Okay. So if we're anticipating bullish movement for the dollar, it means that on 4 hours time frame, we're anticipating bearish movement for this pair. Okay. Now on 4 hours time frame, we have this FVG and other block, same, just a mirror image of what we saw on the dollar. So these are bearish order blocks. So if this bearish order block holds price, resist price, we'll be able to see movement lower to this low, take out this low, trading to this area of inefficiency inside this bullish order block. And I want to see price hold it here to take it higher. Okay, that will be when dollar will also go higher into the bearish order block on 4 hours time frame, and then price will resist it there and then send it lower. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. But if dollar starts to spool higher and go above the bearish order block on 4 hours time frame, this will break this low and then trade into this area as well. Now, it may also give room for this to trade into this area, even if dollar does not, because I look at this as relatively equal lows. But let's hope to see what is going to happen. Essentially, we are looking at bearish movement for this pair. Okay, I expect this thing to go lower. Okay, I expect this thing to go lower. Expect it to go lower. Bearish order block should hold it and then send it lower, take out this low, and then trade into this area. If it has momentum, it might get to this level. Okay, that is what I'm looking at. This is an inversion FVG and not necessarily a breakout block. Okay, that's why I marked out this area. So worst case scenario, this is where price might want to get to before it starts to reverse to go higher. Remember that the moment we took out this high here bullishly, it means that we want to go higher to this level. I told us that some weeks ago that it closed above this. Can you see it closed above this high here, making all these and other blocks. So we want to see price extend higher to this level and then see if this bearish order block is going to hold price as resistance zone. All right, and then we'll start going low. That's just the opposite of what we saw on the dollar index. That's why I'm of the opinion that we may not really go that low. Okay, we may not really go that low to this level, but we can get to this point. It's permissible because of this inversion FVG and also like a breakout block. So we can get there. We can get there. All right, we can get there. We can break below this low, trade through this volume imbalance, and then tap into this inversion FVG before it starts to spool higher. All these levels are levels that are permissible that price can get to because of all the things I've explained. And essentially, the dollar is going to be bullish also to our levels that I outlined as well. Okay, that's just it. All right. So that being said, we'll go to GBP USD. Weekly time frame on GBP USD, we saw how the market trades bearishly to our objective, I think on Monday as well. traded to that level and then consolidated there. I think we're going to push it one more time. That's what I feel. We're going to push it one more time, making here, what do you see? Relatively equal highs. Relatively equal highs. Okay, this is relatively equal highs, and what is resting above there? Buy side liquidity resting above this relatively equal highs. So what is letting us know, or rather, it's trying to indicate that it's like a resistance zone that couldn't be broken. But man, we've seen the market several times to know that it's a trap. It's going to sweep it higher, all right, significantly higher. Now, all these treatments is just because dollar is bullish, all right? That's why we are seeing all this, experiencing all this. Now, I marked out this level because that's significant for daily time frame, this line you're seeing here. And look, to the left, you see an inversion FVG as well. That's tapped into it, so I wanted to, if dollar is going to go higher this week, we expect that this is going to go lower. Test this opening price of the bullish order block, you can trade below it, even inside this FVG. That's permissible. We have a breaker block here, the low, the high, lower low broken to the upside. So this is a breaker block. Price can dip into it inside this FVG. I think that's where I'm looking at, okay? Looking at it. So if we expect a bullish dollar, we want to see a bearish GBP USD cable into this level here, all right? I don't want it to get to this point. No need for it to get to this point, but you can get to this point, all right? So that is the downside objective, okay? If dollar goes bullish, please mark my word, if dollar goes bullish, we want this thing to spool down to this level. Okay, let me adjust this. Good. 4 hours time frame, what do we have that is noteworthy? Okay, this is the area I marked out on daily time frame. That's opening price of the bullish order block. So let me go back to daily time frame and mark out the FVG, this FVG. Let me mark out this FVG here. This is actually weekly time frame FVG, this one here. Please, let's not confuse ourselves. This is the weekly time frame FVG, okay? So let's mark out the daily time frame FVG. This one here, that is inside this other block. Let me mark it out. Okay. And just oppose it to 4 hours time frame. So below this bullish order block, inside here, that's where the FVG is, okay? So if we go to 1 hour time frame, I think there's an order block here on 1 hour time frame. Within 1 hour, 15 minutes, we'll see another block. You can do that yourself. So that's where I feel that price might want to trade to before he rallies higher, okay? Remember, buy side liquidity is resting above here. This movement down is just essentially to, trap traders, to trick traders to feel that this is a resistance zone that can be broken. So, it moves lower and then they start selling and selling and selling and forgets that it's just a little movement into a bullish order block on daily time frame and the FVG before it starts to go higher. So that's it about GBP USD. So these are the areas. Now, the moment it breaks above this high with momentum, then we're going to go high. It means that this low is what it's saying as the sweep on liquidity to go higher. But of the opinion that dollar is going to go bullish, and if dollar goes bullish, this is going to go low, looking at the low on Monday. Okay, that's about that. Let's go to Aussie, AUD/USD. So AUD/USD, we told us that it's going to go higher, but because we expect dollar to be bullish, that's why we saw this consolidation inside the monthly. This is a monthly FVG. Let me go to monthly time frame. That's a monthly FVG here. So price is consolidating inside that FVG, the CB. So weekly time frame, this is the opening price of the monthly bearish order block. It has not gotten there yet because there is weekly bearish order block here that's holding price. Now, it could stall here until dollar resumes bearish movement. That's when this can have momentum to go higher. Okay. Daily time frame, I beg your pardon. We had that Monday decline, and Tuesday we rallied up, and then essentially we just corrected that Tuesday movement. So this is just where we are, still stuck inside this range. Now, dollar, we expect it to go bullish. So if we expect it to go bullish, this is going to essentially clear this liquidity here, because I'm seeing sell side liquidity here, and then we have breakout block here, bullish order block here, inversion FBGs here. So there are a lot of confluences to send price lower. Okay, all these equal lows. So let's see if it's going to go lower, which of course I anticipate that should happen because the dollar is expected to be bullish. So I want to see this rally down. Okay, I want to see decline, take out these lows. Bullish order block on daily time frame is this one here. Inversion average is inside here. So if you extend it out somewhere there, this line is actually a deep discount. Okay, no, that's the low we marked out on monthly time frame. That's the rejection block here. Got it here. So that line should not confuse us. Okay, there's the rejection block on monthly time frame. So essentially around this area, this inversion FVGF, extend it out. We take out this low. That area is where I'm expecting price to trade to. All right, so these lows should be cleared. If dollar is going to be bullish, we want to clear these lows before it starts to go bullish. All right, that's for AUD USD. NZD USD, what do we have? Weekly time frame. Of course, we expected the bearish movement because dollar was bullish. So what we see here, that's like a breaker block as well. So it's trading around that breaker block. That's where we have all these movement lower. The weekly BC has not been totally completely filled. We're traded almost close to it. Daily time frame, what do we have? Just the same thing we had on NZ AUD USD, same thing we have here. This is Monday, Tuesday went bullish, Wednesday took out the high of Monday and Tuesday because we had relatively equal highs, traded into this bearish order block, and then started selling. I'm expecting it to get to this level, maybe 21. So if that is going to be bullish, I want to see this straight to this level, okay? Why you have bullish order block here, breaker block is here, inversion FVG is here, and then this is also here. So that's confluence, all right? So price could send it to this level, or market could send price to this level. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I am expecting, okay? That's what I'm expecting. I want it to get to this level. This is also, I think this is for daily, weekly time frame. Let's see. Yes, if you extend it out, that's like retesting it again. And let me do that quickly. Is it weekly or monthly? I think it's monthly. Well, let me just do that quickly. Let's take it to monthly and see. Yeah, monthly FVG. Yeah, that's monthly FVG. So it could retest it again. Retest it again. This level could retest this level again, which is where the bullish order block is on daily time frame. We retest it again, fill in this FVG, breaker block on 4 hours time frame. So this is the breaker block here. So it could come back. That's where I'm expecting price to get to in week 21, because we expect the bullish dollar to that higher premium objective. So this is going to sell to this level. Okay, let's go to USD CAD, Loonie. So USD CAD, what we have? USD CAD, we expected a bullish movement to fill in this FVG. It did that last week. Week 20, it did that. It gave us that movement to the upside, filled in the FVG, and then we had a little pullback. Let's look at what happened on daily time frame. So we had that movement on Monday, just consolidated all through, nothing significant. So we want to see an expansion to the upside. Okay, we have this FVG here on daily time frame. We have order block here, very short order block there as well. So I want to see trade above it because, of course, we are anticipating a bullish movement for the dollar. So this should essentially trade higher as well. Downside objective, you have FVG here. If you want to poke into the FVG because it has not done that. It did a little on Monday, I think, just a little because it traded below Friday's low. So it did that, and then we had relatively cold lows Monday and Wednesday. So it could sweep it one more time. It could do that before it goes higher. So that's, if you're trading this pair, be mindful of that because this is liquidity zone. Okay, let me go to 4 hours time frame. These lows here are relatively equal. This is for Monday, and this for Wednesday. And they're relatively equal. So it could go lower. All right, purge these lows inside this FVG here, filling in the FVG on daily time frame before it pulls higher. This is too clean for me, and I'm of the opinion that we're going to go bullish on the dollar. So this is going to send price higher. But downside objective, we can trade down like this. Okay, sweep these lows here before it rallies higher. So be mindful of it if you're trading USD CAD. Be mindful of this narrative that I just gave to you, okay? Because these equal lows here, they are suspect, okay? So that's it for Luni. Let's go to USDJPY. So USDJPY traded to objective, the old low here, traded to it inside this FVG here. So it went straight to it, and then we had a rejection. Let's see what happened on daily time frame. On daily time frame, we had that Monday expansion. So that Monday movement, it traded straight to objective on Monday, straight to it on Monday. Then we had a correctional movement Tuesday to Friday. And this is where we are at the moment. Okay. Now, the next question is, what are we looking at? Where do we expect price to go to? Because we are bullish on the dollar, okay, we still want it to go higher, okay. All these, what you see, this is the bullish order block, price has traded above it, but we'll have FVG inside it, okay, and price is very close to the FVG. So we could see a run down on Monday into the FVG, and then we start to rally on Tuesday higher to sweep this high and this high, essentially higher. Okay, take out this high again, retest this old low again one more time. Okay, 4 hours time anyway. Is there any FVG above? Let's see. Yes, we have FVG above here and then other blocks. So it could trade down into the FVG on daily time frame like this, and then rally higher, clear this high into this FVG, and then order block. That's the scenario I'm looking at. This has been swept and touched the old low, the reprise from Tuesday down to Friday. So we could break down one more time, sweep these equal lows here inside the daily FVG. Okay, inside this daily FVG here, inside this daily FVG here, before it pulls higher to this level here, then bearish order block as well. That's what I'm looking at, okay? So be mindful of these levels I have outlined for USD JPY. Let's go to USD CHF. So USD CHF, I told us that I don't see anything on the downside, so I want to see movement to the upside. We got that. We filled in this FVG completely last week with 20, and then tested the old low. We expect bullish movement on the dollar, so it's going to give room for this to also expand bullishly one more time. Okay, if it's going to do that, I want it to break this bearish order block and then see if it can retest this high here. That's what I want to see. Okay, on the downside here, there is nothing noteworthy. All the FVGs have been traded to these equal lows swept by this candle, traded higher. This is repriced it completely. This FVG has been filled completely, so I want to see expansion to the upside, disregarding this bearish order block, then take it higher to this area here. If dollar is going to be bullish, it's going to give room for that to also rally higher. 4 hours time frame, I want to see it break above this high, challenge this particular high here. This FVGF field, this one has been filled. There is none again here. It's going to go lower, then it's going to sweep these lows into this one. But this is like balanced price range, bearish and bullish. So no need to get to this point. So we're going to see an expansion to the upside. We expect bullish movement for the dollar. So we're going to see expansion to the upside, taking out this high inside this FVG here. That's what I'm looking at. Now, if you go further, we have relatively equal highs here. Okay, so long-term objective is that level. But for now, I want to see how it trades above this bearish order block on daily time frame. Okay, take out this high, or at least test this high. So that's what we're looking at for USD CHF. So be mindful of those levels I just outlined. Let's go to our indices. So I told us that we're going to be bullish on indices, and we've gotten it. We saw that come to fruition with 20. We're bullish on it. On indices, we traded higher. I feel it's going to run these highs and give us all-time high for the indices. Stocks in the US market are all appreciating because of the new policies that are introduced by Donald Trump. So everything is just, the economy is booming in the US. Everything is just falling into shape. So the stock market is really on fire, going higher. Almost every stock is increasing. So generally, stock market in the US is doing well. That's why we are seeing this sporadic movement in price action for the indices. All right, so we're still bullish for this pair. Daily time frame, we had that. This is Monday, so we had that new week opening gap, and then it just traded, bullishly to the upside. Now it could do a correction. Okay, do a correction with 21. It could do that. Correct down to this new week opening gap and resume bullishness. So if we start seeing a correctional movement, please know that it's going to trade to this inefficiency and this new week opening gap, also testing the old low. Okay, let me take this old low to where it's supposed to be here. Good. Okay, so it could retest the old low inside the new week opening gap if it starts to go lower. Right, that doesn't mean that the sentiment has changed from bullish to bearish, just a correctional movement. So the breakout block here, low, high, lower low, and it rallied higher, taking out this high. So this is a breakout block. So you could come to retest the breakout block by means of trading down, FVG, new week opening gap, breakout block. So these are conferences that might want to drop price to them. But once it does that, we'll resume bullish movement. Now you can do that in one day. Anything can happen. One news can just come up and then market will just decline to that level, and then we'll start to rally back up again. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. Now I don't want to see it go all the way down, take out this low. No, this low should be left unbroken. If you just trade to this level, then realize now it may not even do that. It could just spool higher, keep going higher, clearing this buy side liquidity. Okay, so let's also be mindful of that. All right, I've just given us the downside, the discount, and the premium levels. Okay, so I put down this 6,200 price level, but it hasn't gotten to that because I feel if it sweep these highs, it's going to trade to that level. Now we're gradually getting there. All right, so any movement down is just to recorrect this level to send price higher one more time. On weekly time frame, look at this. I told us that this movement down here only traded to the old high. So that's enough discount. If you from this low to this high, that's below 50%. So that's giving us the discount level on that, and then it starts pulling higher after taking out all the internal range liquidities, because people that bought this market, as it kept going higher, they kept jamming their stop loss here, here, here. So essentially swept those stop losses, traded to the old high, and then we saw expansion to the upside. So we're going to run this high. It's imminent. We're going to run this high. All right. So but movement down should just be a correctional movement to the new week opening up before it goes higher. That's if it wants to go lower, that's the level we want to see it gets to. We don't want to see it go below that level. Okay. Don't want to see it go below. So essentially trade to this new week opening gap here, and then before it goes higher. I think it's same thing, pretty much the same thing for all the indices. As NASDAQ 100, same thing. New week opening gap, it could retrace back to it before it goes higher. US 30, Dow Jones Industrial Average 30, same thing, it could retrace to this new week opening gap before it goes higher. All right, so it's pretty much the same thing for all the indices. So look at it here, new week opening gap here. So it could go lower, all right, to this new week opening gap. Bullish order block should hold it. We have two gaps here, this one here and this one here. So any movement to the downside, I want to see respect those gaps and then go higher. Nasdaq 100, same thing. We have this new week opening gap here, breakout block as well. So we trade the old low is here. Old low is here. Is the old low? Let me make it. Good. So the old low, breakout block, new week opening gap, bullish order block. So any movement down is here. All right. Before it starts to spool higher, relatively equal highs, we have it there. So that's it. That's it. So all the indices pretty much the same thing. So if we start seeing a decline, please, those are the levels we want to see price get to before it rallies higher. But it could pretty much start going higher. Okay. So these are the things I'm looking at. So please be mindful of these levels I have given you. So once it opens and starts to decline, we know where it's going to. But if it starts to rally, you also know where it's going to. So that's for that for the indices. Let's go to gold. Gold weekly time frame. I told us we're going to be bearish to this bullish order block. We saw that happened. We have an FVG on daily time frame. Let me show us that. This is the FVG here. I told us that price is going to trade to that. Remember I said so last analysis. I told us we're going to trade into this FVG and order block before it starts to rally. Remember I told us that. So what happened was that this was Friday. This was where it was when I did the analysis. Then on Monday it traded lower. Tuesday consolidated, Wednesday broke lower, took out this low, and then Thursday we had that expansion to the downside inside the FVG and then order block. Friday we had a gap up. Okay, no, it didn't gap up because when it traded down, it went up bullishly, and then Friday we traded down again one more time, tested the FVG. Now, where are we going to? If we're expecting a bullish dollar, we're anticipating a bullish dollar, and every other analysis I've just given so far, then gold might want to go lower or consolidate around this bullish order block on daily time frame. So we could consolidate around here, okay? But essentially just go lower, not to go higher. Let's look at 4 hours time frame. On 4 hours time frame, I don't want to see this high violated, okay? But if it violates it and sweeps that like sweeps and then rejects, that'll be fine as well. The structure I'm seeing here is a bearish structure. Now, this, hold on, let me see something. Good. This is that bullish order block and FVG price traded to respecting the 50% the consequent encroachment, okay? Now, if it rallies above this high, then we're going to target this level, this FVG here, which could happen because this is a short-term high that could be violated into this FVG. The shoulder block is also here on 4 hours time frame, and then could see a movement lower from there, or it could stall here and go lower. So essentially, I'm looking at a trading range. Let me mark this thing out somewhere, something like this. It shouldn't go above this to this. So this is the area that I want to see trading range, okay? This is the trading range. So if it breaks above this high, please, this is where we're targeting, not all the way up for now, because we expect the dollar to be bullish. So dollar could give 1 or 2 days of bearishness to allow this expand higher. But if dollar starts to be bullish, then this will reject from here and go lower. Trade below this low, feeling the inefficiency on daily time frame completely, and then trade to this inversion FVG here. Okay. but I don't want to see it break below this low. It's essentially just this trading range, this low here to this high here. So it could trade inside this discount array, just trade inside it, touch the 79% retracement. You have a bullish order block here, proportion block here. So you could just trade around this red level here, giving room for dollar to rally. Okay, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. But if it breaks above this high, we're going to trade to this level. It doesn't mean we're going to take out this high to go higher. Just that we're going to reprice into this inefficiency one more time and then come lower again. But if the dollar is going to be extremely bullish, then this is just going to go lower and trade within this range. I don't think that this low will be violated. I don't think so. Can it happen? Yes, it can. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. It may not. So I'm looking at it, this inefficiency here, up to this one here, that range is what I'm looking at. Just, consolidate around this level. Okay, low to high, 79% is around this FVG here. That's where I want to see price, gravitate to, because we expect a bullish dollar. But if dollar breaks below that 4 hours order block and turns it to a breaker block, bearish breaker block, then this is going to start to rally. All right. So I believe the scenarios are painted properly. If you don't understand, rewatch the video again a couple of times to get it in sync with your trading idea. So that's about that. For Bitcoin, I told us that we expect bullish movement. Okay, we saw that it just consolidated last week. I want to see it expand one more time, take out this high and create a new high. Okay, daily time frame. So this was Monday, poked inside this FVG, consolidated, nothing significant. So it could decline. You have other block here, you have FVG could decline before it sends price higher. Yes, but this low shouldn't be violated. This other block should act as support, FVG also, and then before we run one more time higher to clear this buy side liquidity. So that's the framework. But essentially we are going higher. We're going higher, all right? To clear this, to create a new high for Bitcoin, all right? So that's about that. So that's our analysis for week 21. Please rewatch the video a couple of times to get the discount and premium arrays of each of the pairs that you are interested in, right? So thank you very much. We expect bullish dollar, bearish foreign currency indices can do a correctional movement to the new week opening gap that I outlined, and then dollar should stay inside that trading range, that discount level of the low and the high that I also marked out. So thank you very much. I'm going to see you guys next weekend.